Hey guys, it's George, and today I'm going to go over the simple bill tracker spreadsheet. On this sheet is where you list your bill details and whether it's been paid or not. Let's take a look at this first bill for Netflix. The amount due is $24.99. It's due on the 1st of each month. The payment method is credit card, but you have other options to choose from. The payment frequency is monthly. There's other options here. And it is a subscription plan, and it's set up as an automatic payment. And in these next 12 columns here, representing each month of the year, is where you enter the paid status of a bill and whether it's been paid or not. What's great about this bill tracker is that each of these columns is sortable. So if I want to sort by the amount due, I just click this drop-down area here, and I'm going to choose largest to smallest. And instantly, the information is sorted. I can sort by the name of the company of who the bill is due to. And now I'm going to sort by the due date. Another cool thing you can do is you can filter by each of these columns. So let's say that in the month of September, we wanted to see what was not paid. So I'm just going to click on this drop-down arrow, unselect everything, and choose the X, which represents not paid. And then you're going to get a sub-list of bills that meet that criteria. So to clear that filter and see all bills again, select the drop-down arrow and click Clear Filter. And now you can scroll to the top and see all the bills. Another cool feature is the ability to edit these drop-down lists in these particular columns. So to do that, you just go right here, Edit Drop-Down Options. And let's say that we wanted to add PayPal as one of the payment methods. So if you go back to the bill tracker, under Payment Method here, we don't see PayPal. So to add it, let's go back here. Click under Payment Method, type in PayPal. You can sort this. Now PayPal's been added here. Let's go back to the bill tracker and let's see if it's been added to this particular drop-down list, and there it is right there. So now it's one of the options. Now let's talk about the drop-down list for the paid status columns. Let's go back over to the Edit options. So that's represented by these two columns here. The second column here is just describing what these particular items mean. So these first couple of items here are emojis, and then this is just text typed in. So if you want to add an emoji, you just select the blank cell here, and on a Windows computer, you press the Windows key, and then you're going to press the period key while you're still holding down the Windows key. And this gives you the option to search for different emojis. But in my case, I'm just going to use this particular one right here. And you can see that the emoji's been added, but it's not in color because currently Excel displays emojis without color. So you can put a description there. Let's go back over to our bill tracker and let's check out one of these paid status items. And if you notice that emoji has now been added to our list. So I can select that item. And the first thing you probably notice is that there's no formatting associated with it, but these have formatting. So what I've done is I've added what's known as conditional formatting. So let's take a look at what happens if I put a check mark here. It's automatically formatted like that. If I put one of these types of check marks, it's formatted like that. If I put this X, it's formatted like that. If I put this particular item here, it's formatted like that. The dash is formatted like that. And the NA is formatted like that. So let me show you where I added the conditional formatting for those to show up like that with automatic formatting. If you go under Home, if you go under Conditional Formatting, Manage Rules, and you can see here these first 6 items represent the paid status area formatting. So basically it says if the cell value is a check mark, format the cell like this. So if you want to edit those and keep them the same but change the colors, you select the particular item, you click Edit Rule, and you can edit it here. And click Cancel there. If you want to add a new rule, you can just click here, New Rule, and you can add a new rule for a different emoji. And click Cancel. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these. and delete this item here. So these columns here have been formatted one way with conditional formatting, and I also formatted these two columns with conditional formatting. So if the cell says yes, it automatically turns yellow, and if it says no, it goes back to the default formatting that you have in the cell. So the default formatting is what you format the cell with manually. So for this particular cell, I chose this format, but you could choose a different color for that cell. But that's what the default formatting is. It's just what you choose when you manually do it. The conditional formatting will override the default formatting. So if I change this to yes, it's going to override the default formatting. So I'm going to go back to changing this to no, and I'm going to change that back to the color that I had the rest of the cells, which is right there. So I'm going to go to a bill tracker that has blanks in the paid status columns. And let's say it's the very beginning of the year. So I'm going to show you how I would set up mine. However, you could use your own method to track your bills. But typically what I would do is I would mark this as not paid because it's right at the beginning of the year. I'm going to copy that. Now when you copy, this is really important. You want to use a specific method to copy. So I'm going to copy this down to about right here. You got to do paste special values. Then for this particular bill, I'm going to use the not applicable. I'm going to choose copy. I'm going to choose to paste special values into this cell. Paste special values into these cells. Now this one is going to be due in July. So in July, I'm going to choose that it's not paid. And this one is in August. In August, I'm going to choose not paid. So that's how I would set up this at the beginning of the year. So let's say that in January, I can start marking these off as being paid as I pay them or as they get paid automatically. So it's really easy to keep track of all your bills with this simple bill tracker spreadsheet.